Hello, my fellow members of Boston Sports Nation. Welcome to another edition of the Royal Rooters podcast. This is episode 51, the March the 3rd of 2020 or 2026 episode. Did I just put March? Yeah, I put March. All right. Yeah, it looked like I said match, or something like that. Yeah, or March. Yeah, March. Oh, there we go. Don't unbox that. All right. So the Red Sox played an exhibition game between Team Puerto Rico. One for before the World Baseball Classic starts tomorrow, or a pool play starts tomorrow, and unfortunately, Team Puerto Rico literally got out from the jump. They led literally 4-0 at one point, then 5-0, and the Red Sox did kind of add on late in the 6th and 7th innings, but it was to no avail. IKF did make a sweet double play that was kind of neat to kind of see all right, whatever he doesn't make with his or with his bat, he makes with his glove. But anyway, so it was a 5-3 defeat for the Red Sox. This now makes them 1-1, at least in exhibition play and stuff like that. Because they played that Northeastern game, won that, and they played this and lost that. All right. So let's lead off some little stats. I did see looks like IKF had an RBI. Cespedes did have an RBI, and then Gasper had an RBI too, which is his second of the night. So yeah, Cespedes is one of our top prospects too, young top prospects too. So Bennett, he basically only pitched only 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 3 runs on 4 hits and walked a person. Oof. I don't see any of our current Red Sox players are playing on Team Puerto Rico. Matt Lugo, remember him? Matthew Lugo, he's playing for them, former Red Sox farmhand. Played in this one. Who else? Nobody we know. No. Nope. Nobody. Nobody else, at least batting wise. I thought that was Eduardo Rodriguez. No, it's Elmer Rodriguez. Elmer plays for the Yankees. Elmer. Yavani Moran, he is a pitcher for the Team Puerto Rico, pitched for a team or for the Boston Red Sox, and let's see how he did tonight coming out of the pen. Crap, oh, here we are. So he pitched an inning and only struck out one person, so basically no runs, no hits, yeah. And no walks, too. So pretty much a clean inning for the most part, yeah. Yeah, a 1-2 free if you think about it. Oh, we do have a Jose De Leon. We forgot about him, too. Red Sox. So he pitched an inning and only gave up a walk, so for the most part, pitched a clean inning. Yeah. Forgot about that. All right. So that's it for that. Now let's move on to the Bruins game. And it looks like they have won 11 straight in a row. It looked like from the jump, it looks like Pittsburgh, after they're really hot right now and being real good, and literally 42 seconds into the game, it looked like that was going to be the case, but nope, hold on. Thanks to a Marat Kusanov and Casey Middlestad goal, or Mitzi goal, the Bruins, and also a pretty good performance from Mr. Jeremy Swayman from the pipes. Your Boston Bruins have now won 11 straight games at home in the TD Garden. Cue the Standells. It is a 2-1 victory for your Boston Bruins. All right. Let's get into the scoring. It's only the first period because nothing else also happens too. We almost got a third period empty netter from, I'm trying to think of who. 71. We'll find out that answer. From Mr. Victor Arvidsson, but it bounced off the pipes. So yeah, no. All right, first period. Here we go. So literally 42 seconds into the first period, Eric Carlson puts Pittsburgh up 1-0. So this is his 5th goal of the season. So yuck, nope. Penguins lead, and then literally 6 or so minutes later or so, Marat Kustanov gets his 13th goal of the season, ties it up for the Bruins. It is 1-1. Thanks on a Michael Isamont assist, his 10th of the season. So nice. And then, literally a minute later, on a sick-ass goal from Mr. Casey Middlestad, his 13th goal of the season, he puts the Bruins up 2-1. Thanks on assists from Sidorov, his 17th of the year, and Zacha, his 24th of the season, to put the Bruins up for good 2-1. And literally, that would be your final, or that's what your final score would be as, because nothing else happened after that. Yeah, but still a 2-1 victory for the boys in black and gold. All right. Shots on goal. Pittsburgh outshot us 35-28. Penalty minutes, everybody was 0%, and the Bruins were 0 for 3, and then the Penguins were 0 for 4. Yeah. We had more penalty minutes. We had to work on that. To Pittsburgh 6, or 8-6. Yeah. So yeah, right. Yeah, pretty good game. I want to see something. So, what is the record for Bruins home consecutive wins? Right. Boston Bruins consecutive home. All right, here we are. It looks like it is 14 home game or home win streak, and it was from the 22-23 season. The season that could have almost been great if they didn't do a huge choke job in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's the Florida Panthers being up 3-1. But yeah, that is the record, 14-game win streak. All right, so they just need to win 3 more games. Yep, and they tie the record, win 4 more, and you break it. All right, so nice. And you would think for a team that started out kind of like during the Marco Strome era, or the first year of the Marco Strome era, and kind of looking at it now, I mean, we kind of been running pretty good right now. We're literally, as I said, as we speak now, I'm looking at the standings. We are still the 8th seed in the whole Eastern Conference playoff round, or for the Stanley Cup. So we're the second wild card team. We are 34, 21, and 5. So 34 wins, 21 losses, and 5 OT losses, with 73 points behind our arch rivals, the Montreal Canadiens. Boo. Yeah. And leading the pack right now in the Atlantic Division is your Tampa Bay Lightning. It looks like they are the number one seed in, looks like, no, actually it's the Carolina Hurricanes who are actually the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Because, yeah, they have more points than the Tampa Bay Lightning do. Okay, so 82-80. Okay, that's where, okay, yeah. Makes more sense. But the best team in hockey right now, and projected to win the President's Cup, is the Colorado Avalanche with 89 points. Or 89 points and 40, 10, and 9. All right, so if they win the President's Cup, does that mean they don't win the Stanley Cup then? It's a running joke and somewhat of a curse. Whoever wins this President's Cup this year doesn't really go on to win the whole damn thing at the end. Yeah, or at least that hasn't been the case since the 2004 Tampa Bay Lightning. I think that was the last team that did it. Be wrong on that, but I think that might be the last team that might have done that. Win the President's Cup and go on to win the whole thing at the end. All right. So it looks like the Bruins do not get a shot to add on to their home win streak Thursday because they'll be back on the road, and this time they're going to Nashville, but we won't jump ahead to that, so they'll play the Predators. All right. But we will jump ahead to tomorrow's games for the other Boston sports related teams. All right, so it looks like the Red Sox have a spring training game against the New York Yankees as they come to JetBlue Park for a 12:05 first pitch, 1:05 Eastern time, but whatever time zone you live in, you know what to do. Check what time it is in your time zone and tune in. It looks like it is Mr. Garrett Crochet versus Lucas Heel. All right. All right, and then the Boston Celtics, they return home after a Monday night showdown between the Milwaukee Bucks, where they basically took them down, and yeah. But anyway, so they won that game, or maybe not. All right, yeah, won that game, and now they're going back home and playing against the Charlotte Hornets, who are kind of red hot at this point. They're kind of been winning so far. There's kind of that play-in team, but right now they're kind of rolling at this point. So it'll be a 6:30 tip-off, 7:30 Eastern time, but whatever time zone you live in. As I said, you know what to do. See what time it is in your time zone and tune in. All right. Final thoughts. Wasn't able to go up to so Norman Community Basketball played in their sectional semifinal game tonight, and yeah, season's over. I wasn't able to go because work related stuff. I couldn't get to, or the bus left early because it was a 6 o'clock tip off and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean it did not end well for them. They really should not have given that lead up, but there was a really controversial call at the end of the game, and Richwoods or Peoria Richwoods got 2 free throws that basically won them the game, and yeah, ended our season. So that was, yeah, they went up to Rock Island for that sectional. That was just dumb. So yeah, season's over and not a shot, and the chance of a maybe state title is now, at least for this season, done. Yeah, really sucks. Really have your season end on something like that. I'm looking at the replay on that. Where was the foul at? Man, that was awful. Or referee that game, man. I do realize sometimes, hey, I mean, as I said, the team or players and stuff like that have all that control. But you know what? There are some of these referees that they kind of do their calls and judgments do have an effect on the outcome of the game. I really feel like we should hold some of these referees accountable, or these officials, umpires, referees, you name it, linesmen. You want to go hockey, yeah, accountable. When they make a dumb call like that, they should be held accountable. They should just be allowed to go home afterwards. No, you guys got to stay for a press conference. They got to answer questions of why. They won't do that, though. They won't do that, though. Yeah, it's just, man. Yeah. Why'd you make that call? Why'd you make that call? Yeah. Why did you make that decision? They won't do it, though. No, because there are some referees that their feelings will get hurt if so. Yeah. Yeah, such is life. All right, we're going to call it a night. All right, thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk tomorrow for more to recap Red Sox and Yankees spring training. And then Celtics and Hornets regular season game, and maybe a Bruins trade, maybe Patriots news, maybe a Red Sox trade. Maybe I did kind of hear some news coming out of Atlanta of a certain player getting suspended, and maybe us being kind of aligned with maybe a trade. Maybe that might solve some of our outfield problems. Who knows? I did hear a rumor getting circulated recently about that. Yeah, so Atlanta might need an outfielder since one of their outfielders is now going to get suspended for a while and not be allowed to play. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Banyana.